And we start with breaking news here at 5. The JCPS board released its plan to cut the budget deficit. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I'm Connie Leonard.
And I'm Doug Proffitt. This happening within the last hour. Here's some of the top headlines we can bring you at this hour. Cutting hundreds of jobs from the central office. That's the top priority listed. Here's some of the highlights of the plan. JCPS giving the details, actually. Planning to cut 300 positions within the central office to save a projected $44 million. Schools themselves will see a funding crunch. $41 million will be cut from school budgets that are not directly tied to student instruction. Also, JCPS Superintendent Brian Yearwood telling our Alex Dieterer in an interview at the meeting that closing schools like Zachary Taylor and King Elementary are still on the table.
And for teachers and staff, $30 million will come from ongoing union negotiations. Notably, today the plan was presented to a JCPS board committee before going to the full board next week.
We've been tracking snow flowers. Oh, why not?
I mean,
snow flowers. Now that's the kind of snow shower I'd like in Kentucky.
I would too. That sounds awesome.
So
combination.
there's another breaking story for you,
right.
Mallory.
We have some grapple out there, though. You told us, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
Our favorite word, grapple.
Grapple, yes. Those are like the little Dippin' Dots, the little snow pellets. We had a few of those in downtown Louisville. Within the last hour, we had a nice snow burst downtown here right around 4 o'clock. That's as temperatures are crashing. We hit a midnight high temperature today. We've been dropping throughout the day, and now we're right around that freezing mark already in Louisville. Of course, temperatures higher up dropped before the temperatures at the surface, which is why we've been seeing some snow showers even with temperatures above 32 degrees. So we're seeing these pockets of snow showers. Once again, accumulation really not the issue with what we're seeing today. It's the whiteout conditions that you can get very briefly in some of these heavier pockets of snow showers or snow burst. We're seeing one around Shelbyville over to Frankfort down to Taylorsville as well. More light snow on the back side of this system. So this is all wrapping around the backside of the cold front that actually pushed through this morning. So that took the rain along with it. Temperatures dropped. We're getting the wraparound moisture here. Not a ton of moisture to tap into, which is why we're not looking at big snowfall accumulations, but we could continue to see those scattered snow showers throughout the evening. And in between, you might be seeing peaks of sunshine. Yes, it's a very strange setup today, somewhat convective here. This as we take a live look outside from our Bachman Auto Group U of L health camera. You can see some snow flurries, the camera shaking because it's gusty, and temperatures, as I mentioned, those have been dropping. We are in the 30s on the Kentucky side of the river. We have some 20s off to the north, and of course those wind chills are even colder in the 20s and teens as we are dealing with wind gusts up to about 30 miles per hour or so. As we carry on throughout the rest of the evening, we could continue to see some of these pockets of snow showers past sunset into the early overnight period, and then a lot of that wants to push off to our east. We'll actually get a decrease in cloud cover in some spots overnight, and that will allow lows to dip down into the upper teens and lower 20s with even colder wind chills. But this is just the beginning. We have rounds of Arctic air on the way through the 7-day forecast, more light snow chances as well. I'll have those details coming up in a few minutes.
All right, Mallory, thank you. In the past 90 minutes, we learned Trimble County schools are out tomorrow and Friday. The district made a post on social media saying this is due to an increase in illness across the school. All youth league basketball practices are canceled through Sunday and will resume Monday. The district says the school days missed will be made up at the end of the school year. Well, in less than a week, demolition of the former Givaudan plant in Clifton is finally set to begin.
The company with the wrecking permit plans to bring the equipment and the crews to the site next Monday, January 19th. Work is scheduled from Monday through Thursday. Again, starting next Monday, weather permitting. The plant in Clifton exploded in November of 2024, killing 2 workers, injuring others, and damaging nearby homes. Investigators found that a failed pressure valve caused the blast, sending debris right into the Clifton neighborhood.
City officials say dust will be monitored along the fence line with misting used when needed. The demolition is expected to last about 40 days.
Right here tonight, we've got that new update. Breaking news on the deadly UPS plane crash in Louisville on November 4th. A new report out today, just released by the NTSB hours ago, shows Boeing, the maker of the aircraft, was aware of an issue with the part that led to the UPS plane crash and they knew about it for more than a decade.
But they did not think it would cause safety issues if properly inspected. Now, the crash, of course, killed 15 people when it went down just south of the Louisville airport November 4th. The NTSB found three major things. First, the part of the left engine that attaches it to the plane failed. When examining that part, the NTSB said it was noticeably worn out.
Also in the report, a 2011 Boeing service letter acknowledged the issue with the bearing, saying a similar issue was found in at least 3 other planes.
But at the time, Boeing didn't think it would cause flight safety issues if the planes had regular inspections. Now, the NTSB is going back to look at UPS records to make sure they were following that recommendation. And as business returns to the site of the crash, cleanup continues. MSD said last week it's removed about 4.7 million gallons of oily water from the crash site. This includes 200,000 gallons of oil. Clean Harbors came in to help treat that contaminated water. And John Gary with Clean Harbors says first responders and MSD played a part in helping to prevent the contamination from spreading.
A lot of that is attributable to specifically the first responders and MSD getting out in this north ditch and the other waterways immediately and keeping this from migrating off-site. Really incredible. We don't see that elsewhere.
And Gary says a new and bigger unit is being built and will have 3 1 million gallon tanks to process that water.
And as we continue to learn more about the UPS crash as we wait for the final report from the NTSB, don't forget to follow our continuing coverage online here on WHAS 11 and on WHAS 11 Plus.
All right, well, bond is set at $500,000 cash for a Louisville woman charged with murder during an alleged argument at an East Market Street McDonald's on New Year's Eve. 38-year-old Shoshana Jones faced a judge this morning during her arraignment. She pled not guilty to charges of murder, robbery, and being a felon in possession of a handgun. Police say a car parked next to Jones at the McDonald's and a young person getting out of that car, their door hit Jones' car, which started an argument and ended with Jones pulling out a gun and shooting and killing a woman. Jones is due back in court January 26.
A new development happening today in Frankfort. Long lines, long drives, and delays are a common experience when you try to go get your driver's license renewed.
That's right. And today, Kentucky State Senator Aaron Reed's proposed bill, Senate Bill 7, would allow counties to more easily issue license renewals. The biggest changes come to license renewal services, which would be administered by offices like the county and circuit clerks, sheriff's departments, and the county judge executive.
Now, any county that opts in to the change will charge a $25 convenience fee that is retained locally for sustainability. Now, it passed with much praise coming out of the meeting.
And another similar bill is making its way through the House right now. Governor Andy Beshear says the long driver's licensing lines from last year are fixed, while one Kentucky Republican seeks to take away state control and give it back to the counties. Our Ian Hardwick brings you the proposed reforms from Frankfort, and he is following that story. He'll have a full report coming up at 6 o'clock.
More top stories here for you tonight at 5. An Indianapolis woman is facing federal charges after police say she allegedly threatened a U.S. House member. Court documents say 28-year-old Shayla Addison sent threatening text messages to a campaign phone number on January 15, 2025. Prosecutors say she later emailed additional threats, including a message about killing the lawmaker and blowing up the building. She now faces 2 federal charges for threatening a federal official. The FBI and U.S. Capitol Police are investigating this.
In just over 2 hours, Indiana Governor Mike Braun will deliver his State of the State address. It comes as Braun has closely aligned himself with the Trump administration and followed its lead this year. He supported an attempt to redraw Indiana's congressional map this past fall, and that, of course, ultimately failed, you may remember. But the speech, it begins tonight at 7:30.